Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I am Lady Calamere. Welcome to my channel. I am doing my 94th video. It will be on the goddess Chinnamasta. Chinnamasta is a Hindu goddess. She's one of the Mahavija goddesses. She is a tantric goddess, and she's usually not known outside of the Mahavija. She doesn't have a lot of temples in in India or in the world today. Some people do not know who she is, but I've noticed that she is becoming more popular and more in the spotlight. So there is only one book that I know of that's on her. It's Chinnamasta by Elizabeth Ann Bernard. I don't know if it's still available. This is a very old book. So the card we have here is Chinnamasta. I do want to give credit where credit is due. This is by Alana Fairchild, Kylie Oracle. And if you do like my video, please head over to, if you like metal music, Indian folk metal music, head over to Bloody Wood's channel, Bloody Wood. They are a metal band, and please give to their Patreon if you were going to give to me. And also check out Chant Central. So they got a Patreon too that you can support them. But anyways, let's get on with this presentation. I do have an image of Chinnamasta. I do want to show you, but I'm trying to think where I'm going to put my drink at because I got little brats that want to take it off me. So let's go look at my image. I actually had two plaques. One was totally destroyed by my kittens. I mean, they wrecked it beyond belief. So let's go look at my image right here. And unfortunately, I got to fix that because they thought it would be great to take down the sword. So we have Chinnamasta Prachanda Chandika. And you see that her image shows her with a severed head. And that she holds her own severed head. Yes, I made this myself. And you'll see that she has two attendants flanking on either side. You have Varini and Dakini. So, anyways, let's go back into the presentation room. So just bear with me. Chinnamasta is a very powerful goddess. And in the Mahavija list, the one that I know and I work with, and that's very popular, she is listed as the 6th Mahavija. Some lists show her as 5, but most popularly the 6th Mahavija. But in yoga, as a yogic goddess, she is the last goddess. She is the final step. She is that attainment of what the yogi looks for, if that makes any sense. She has removed her ego. She has killed the ego, and it's sort of like she has the ego is still in her hand. She's in control of all her ego and all her desires. She has control of her ego and her desires. And her head, she severs her own head. It's not severed for her. She severs her own head, and she's not in any pain. She's not in agony or suffering. In fact, she's at peace. She's at bliss. She's in a space of samadhi, in this aspect, this is the goddess that shows perfection. Her sacrifice not only feeds herself, but it feeds her attendants. That was Loki that just came up here. He's been after everything. I wonder where my lady boss is. So everything that you see of Chinnamasta has a meaning. It literally has a meaning. Her imagery is more shocking, is meant to be more shocking than the imagery of Kali. She works faster than Kali with pertaining to liberation and Kundalini work, but she's aggressive in that fashion. This is meant to startle you. This is meant to be lightning quick. This is meant to be the spiritual flash of lightning and that thunderous roar that is to wake you up. And the images speak to the subconscious mind, where you could read about it, but it's more potent to look at the images. It's more potent. Okay? She's also known in some Buddhist sects, but she's known as Chinnamasta. Now, Chinnamasta is a goddess who is the sacrificer, the sacrificed, and the receiver of the sacrifice. So she is the sacrificer, the sacrificed, and the receiver of the sacrifice. She is excessively powerful and considered to be more, yes, she is blissful, but she is also, when it comes to ferocious or violence, it even said that Chinnamasta is seen as more so than Kali. In fact, out of her 1,000 names, the very first name that comes up, and it's the 1,000 names of the goddess. So it's Prachanda Chandika, which it means the mighty or the powerfully fierce one. The second name, which should show you what she's about, Chanda, the fierce one. Now, I don't remember the third name, but I do know it's something to deal with the indestructible, ferocious goddess. But the fourth one comes to be, remember Chamunda? Her fourth name is actually Chamunda. And then you have the fifth name, which is Sukanda, the very fierce one. Then I know the sixth name is Kapala, the electrifying one. The third name is a very long name. I know it's Chande. Yeah, I can't remember the whole name. I don't write these things down, and I don't use a script, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. So we're on the eighth name, right? We have the eighth name, Lala Jiva. And that's Lala, it deals with the one who hangs her tongue out. And that's almost like what Kali does. Then you have the ninth name, Kala Drakta, which is one with quivering blood. And on and on and on. The different names that goes on is, you get pretty violent names like she who trembles, she who has a fierce roar, but then you have some more of a peaceful name. But you see how the first names are coming to be very violent. Like you have one name that means very frightening. You have another name where she is known, I don't know, remember what number this is, but Bayarupa, which has a fearful form. I think that would be in the 20s, somewhere in the 20s with her name. So, but then you have another name, which I think it's the 34th or the 33rd name, is Kamada, who fulfills wishes. And then the name after that would be Durga. So she has the name of Durga. So you get a gist of who she is by reading her names. So she had her energy is very strong. Her energy is very electrifying. In fact, that's her element, electricity. Lightning, though, as the lightning bolt. One of her names is she who carries a lightning bolt. She who is, I believe it's she who is lightning, or she is who is electrifying. And her form is that of a lightning bolt. And if you know anything about lightning, you know that it could get hotter than the sun. Seriously, I'm not joking. You know, I had an argument with my ex who tried to tell me, oh no, the hottest thing is the sun. I said, you better start looking things up. And you know, my ex was not very scientific guy, nor very knowledgeable in things. Here's her yantra. This is her yantra. And remember what I told you about yantra. This is her form this is her form so this is her form as a yantra, and her seat is the bindu where she actually is. And also it says in meditation, you enter the eastern gate. So where do you put your yantra? Well, the Chinnamasta yantra is said to be put in the east, or some people say the north. I put it with my Hindu altar, and unfortunately, I have several Hindu altars. One of my Hindu altars is actually facing south. I have to work with what I have. So, yeah, I know south is the death. In Hinduism, the land of the dead is south. So, but I have to work with what I have and with the space I have, because I got like 1 billion statues. So, now let's look at some pictures. Art time. Here we have another picture of Chinnamasta. And this one is Chinnamasta too. This is very interesting because it shows her in a cremation ground, because that's where she's seen at, the cremation ground. Her haunt, so the cremation ground, which is the dead. And we have the dogs or jackals eating the dead. Now, in this picture is to represent the end of an era, the end of one phase, or end of even one world or one yuga, and the beginning of another. So you see the flow. This represents the end. This represents Shiva. This is Shiva. This represents the beginning of something new. So Chinnamasta, a good way to connect with her and to help open your third eye. Now, Chinnamasta, one of her main seats is your third eye, your Agnya chakra. And that's, okay, so look at where your eyes are in the middle, okay, of where your both eyes is where your third eye is located. Now, there's like a meditation called the thunderclap. And I'm going to teach you how to do the thunderclap. So what you want to do is best to close your eyes. close your eyes, right? And you want to take your hands and you want to take the palms. Put your palms on your ears and have your fingers facing the back. Now, don't do it yet till I tell you how to do this. So, you take your hands, put your palms over your ears, close your eyes, and I want you to lightly tap your head till you hear that thunder. Don't do it too hard because I don't want you to hurt yourself or give yourself a headache. You do it, don't, like, you could do it like several times. Let's do 5. Actually, let's do 6. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, of course, you don't want to count. You just want to be quiet and hear that thunder. I'm just counting for you. Okay, so let's do it again. Let's hear the thunder, and I'll keep quiet. Okay. You want to make sure you're not wearing a ponytail or a bun when you do this because it's going to get in the way. You want to hear that thunder. And another way to do this is look at her image and do it. Just stare at her image. Do not close your eyes. You can also look at her yantra. Don't close. When you do it, keep your eyes open as long as you can. So, it's called the thunderclap. That's her power is, she's very forceful. This is actually showing the Kundalini of how the energy should go. Up in the middle and like this. That's how it should go. It shouldn't be lopsided. It should go straight up and like that. And it should come down around you. That is the Kundalini energy. She is Shakti that has risen. Now, as you can see, she's feeding everyone. But she also receives the sacrifice. So she's feeding herself. Chinnamasta is useful for, you can use her mantra for many things, and she's useful for removing dark energies that are affecting you. So she's good with fighting against curses, against enemy spirits, but also she's even more effective against your inner enemy, your own ego, that your id, that and the false ego, the false concepts that you have. She's also a goddess for those who are facing addiction, because it says her dark side, her shadow side is addictions. And we could be addicted to porn. You could be addicted to sex. You could be addicted to drugs, alcohol, gambling. She helps remove the head of the addiction. She helps remove it and helps you to become clean and free of that. So she is a tantric goddess. It says that she's probably, unless you really feel called to her, she's probably not the first one you want to work with, especially in the Mahavijas. That she could be inapproachable at times. So we have her as her seed syllable. She actually has there's actually two that you can use with her. Okay, so her mantra, her main one that people use with her is H-U-M, but it's pronounced hum, hum, hum. Hum, hum. And this is actually a, a mantra of fire, of wrath. It's like you visualize it like the deity would just literally smash her foot on the ground and create just a sonic blast from her foot. This sonic blast of whom can be used against obstacles as road openings, to defeating enemies that are trying to hurt you. So the other one that people use with her, and you can use it just with any goddess in the Hindu pantheon, is Hrim. Hrim, 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 Hrim. So we have her whole mantra, which is Om Shrim Hrim Hrim Aim Vajra Varo Kanyai Hum Hum Pat Swaha. And as you can notice is that the Vajra Vairocani, Vajra Vairocani, or it's also pronounced, so Vairocani is the effulgent lightning bolt. She is calling her the goddess of lightning. So this mantra, it's a very forceful, ferocious mantra filled with fire and electricity and velocity. That's what she is. That's what she is. I mean, Shrim is also the seed syllable for Lakshmi. So we see Om like the rich, Hrim, Hrim, we got the goddess. Aim is the seed syllable for Sarasvati, which deals with intellect, knowledge, wisdom. And I said that Hum is that wrath and fire. So that just gives you some of the idea of what she is, of who she is, by understanding also of her mantra, that main mantra. My cats are destroying something, aren't they? They do horrible things, especially when I'm trying to teach. Oh my God. They are so distracting sometimes. So, if we look at Svaha, that consecrates the mantra. That is like consecrating within the fire of your heart. Svaha, as I said in my other videos, she's also the wife of Agni. She is a fire goddess. Chinnamasta. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Phat, P-H-A-T, gives protection. It not only gives you protection, but destroys your obstacles. So, Phat destroys obstacles and gives you great, great, great protection. Now, there's another way of, okay, we know the Kundalini, usually we see it rising for the Muladhara all the way up to the Sahasrara, and bursting out. That is the traditional way, but there's another way of doing the Kundalini, and it's more advanced. is to actually raise it, to begin raising it from the third eye, blast it up through the Soma chakra, through the Guru chakra, up through the Sahasrara chakra. And that is a more advanced way. But that is definitely Chinnamasta Kundalini. I mean, she's Kundalini, all right, but that's another way of doing the Kundalini. Never force the Kundalini to rise. If you start feeling it rise and you're not ready for it, okay, there's a part where when it just starts beginning to rise, you can push it down if you're not ready for it. Sometimes it can get stuck. I've had it literally when it rose. There was one time I was doing I was just practicing my meditations to the goddess Tara, and it rose, and it literally felt like it was like a zipper, and it was opening up, and it hurt for a few days. I mean, it rose, and I just wasn't even intentionally arising it, and it happened. So people think, oh, if you rose a Kundalini, you're a complete master, you'll be totally changed. And yes, there are changes. They could be positive or negative depending on, did you force it? Is it something that you went to like a workshop and this is the first time you're working with the Kundalini and all of a sudden you had your Kundalini raised? I mean, or you read, or I mean, it's just a very complicated subject to get on with, but it is worth mentioning since we are talking about the goddess of Kundalini herself, Chinnamasta. Her name means she without a head. Chinnamuna means the headless one, but Chinnamasta just means without a head. So we have the Gayatri mantra of Chinnamasta. Om Varo Chunaye Chuvidmuhe Chinnamusto. Chinnamostovye Dimahi Tano Divi Prachodayat. Let me do that again because I fucked up. Om Varochanaye Chavidmahi Chinnamastaye Dimahi Tano Devi Prachodayat, which means may I have the wisdom or the knowledge of the lightning-like one. May the headless one, who is Chinnamasta, illuminate my intellect. May I meditate on the goddess. So if you want to hear the other mantra again, I think I said it wrong. Om Shrim Hrim Hrim Ayum Vajra Ro Chaniyai Hum Hum Fat Swaha. That's better. I don't do her mantra every day. I do her mantra. It is said that it's best to face east with Chinnamasta. Face east. So Chinnamasta is great for invoking for any seedy power. Seedy means occult power, magical power, mystical power. Oh, I'm gonna kill him. Hang on. Get out of there. I knew you were doing something horrible. Out. Bad boy. Both of you. A shame. Shame on you. I had a feeling they were doing something. So she's ideal for getting occult power, magical power, mystical power. She's ideal for raising kundalini. She's to help you with quieting your thoughts, opening up your psychic powers, opening up your beyond intuition. We're talking about psychic powers here. Intense and sudden spiritual awakening. She's also good for, she's been used for black magic rituals too, to basically cut the heads spiritually off your enemies, to use against any spiritual attacks. She fights dark forces. She fights any spiritual beings that were sent to you. She can basically, just showing herself, she can literally scare them away. Oh my God, guys, come on. Get away from the catnip. God, why did you do that? You know, bad boy, get over here. Now you're gonna say sorry to everybody.
I'm sorry for being a jerk. I'm not a jerk. I'm not sorry.
So anyways, she's for spirits. Like I said, she's to break binds, cut binds. If someone has binded you, if this curse, she can get rid of deep-seated curses. We're talking about intergenerational curses, curses that has followed your family. She could be used against this. Okay. She sacrifices the ego for the sake of enlightenment. She feeds the world. She literally will feed all the three worlds, as this represents the three worlds in which she feeds herself. So she is great for self-inquiry, of knowing who you are, self-realization, to really spiritually wake up. She's good to help with deep meditation. As people have used her mantras for if you're having some really financial difficulties, or if you're really having a hard time financially, she can help with that. She can help you let go of things, to finally just let go of certain things, certain people, to let go of certain people, places, and things that no longer serve you. If you're ready to let go. I mean, I know sometimes it's not easy to let go. It's just not. She can help you with if you're having any problems with addiction. Oh my God. Stop. You're annoying now. That's Loki and Joker. So she can help you to let go of things, people, places, and things, and addictions. She helps you, give you the courage to face the demons in life. I'm putting this in parentheses, demons. Your personal demons, your personal what you feel is a defect in character. She can transform your sexual energy into an awakening, healing force. She can help you, if you want, to become a world renouncer. So there are actually like three main people that worship her: the yogis, world renouncer, or those who take a heroic her heroic path of, you know, there are people that will come to the gods, as we see, look at my Kali presentation, as either a babe or a hero. So you look at the story of Kali, about how I told about how in one story, the original story, Shiva came to her as a baby to stop her rampaging, and in a later story, which actually is the most popular one, is where he takes a heroic aspect and throws himself on the floor and when she steps on him. So she can feed you. She can spiritually feed you. Oh, Lady Boss is here. She can feed you spiritually. She can feed you with energy. She teaches you how to sacrifice, but also how to receive. How to give and to receive and to give. How to be a giver and a receiver of gifts, of energy. She can be used to remove bad things from your aura, from your energy, but again, she does it ferociously, and she is the type to not like, okay, now we're gonna rip off the band-aid. She's like, rip it off. There you go, motherfucker. You know, go ice it. Say, take your damn medicine. So she's not gonna go, oh, it's okay. Now, here's the thing. She is a dark goddess. She is a dark goddess. But she can help you with, she can help you if you have egoic agendas, to help you get, you know, leave your comfort zone. Oh my God, Lady Boss. To leave your comfort zone, to step out of your comfort zone. She can help you if you're clinging to your personal boundaries. She can help you when you need to give up your social roles. You ever have everything taken away from you? She can cause that to happen to someone. It's happened to me. I mean, you know, shit happens. You know, I lived through Katrina, so she can take things away. Good or bad, she can take it away. She teaches about self-sacrifice, to see things in a more spiritual way. So she is a goddess of spiritual awakenings. Definitely one of her times to definitely worship her is when the sky is full of lightning. We had a big lightning storm here. It was pretty damn scary. I thought we were having a tornado nearby. But she's like a sky full of lightning and a sudden vicious thunderstorm. She's the type of lightning, cloud to ground lightning, and lightning streaking across the sky, and the thundering one. Viral infection, and like the Vajra Yogini is one of her name. Vajra Yogini, which is the Thunderbolt Yogini, and Vairochani is radiantly beautiful one. And then, you know, one of her other names is Sudden Flash of Thunder and Lightning. That's actually one of her names. So, I would love to show you a picture of it, but I don't want to scare Lady Boss. She gets scared very easily. So I do want to show you what those blood streams mean too, because I'm all right up into the 40-minute. Now I gotta find this. Okay. So we see this, the Shushuma. To the left is the Ida. And to the right is the Pingala. So Sushuma's spirit is the central middle path. Okay? The Ida is feminine. It is the moon. And the Pingala is the right side. It's masculine. It is the sun. So we have spirit, moon, and sun. She represents the central path, as she is in the middle. We have her two attendants. They go by the names of either Varini and Dakini. Varini will be the one who is white, and they don't have the color here. And Dakini will be seen as black. But Dakini drinks Ida, while Varini drinks Pingala. Now, sometimes her name is Jaya and Vijaya. Now, here we see her sitting on Shiva, which that's sometimes she is seen sitting on. And she is naked. She is a dark goddess, but she's not a crone. That's the mistake people are making with her, calling her a crone. First of all, she's not a crone. She does not have the body of a crone. In fact, she has full breast. She is 16 years old she's the body of a 16-year-old. So again, she's not a crone. Can you stop today? So, and other times we see her sitting on, well, she's either sitting or standing. Now, it's very important to know the sitting and standing. So when she sits, she's sitting on two copulating gods. They have the gods Rati, she's a goddess of sexual desire, on top of Kama, the god of love. Now, the female will always be on the superior position, will be on the top position. Okay, so we got the reverse missionary pose. When she sits, it says that it usually means that through the act of sex, they feed Chinnamasta, thereby erasing this conscious, this yogic conscious, and the Kundalini. Now, usually when she's sometimes this is what it means. When she's standing on Rati and Kama, when they are embracing. Let me see if as we have here, okay, it means that she is conquering their sexual desires, so that they turn their sexual desires into spiritual desires. Now, sometimes the couple beneath her is actually Radha and Krishna. Sometimes they have Radha and Krishna. Radha will be on top of Lord Krishna, because she will be in a superior position. You're not getting a drink. But here we have Rati on top of Kama. As you can see, she's naked, and she reveals a little bit more than what Kali reveals. So Kali is all revealing, as we have Kali here. And Kali is naked. She shows everything. However, Chinnamasta is naked too, but she's showing more. She chops her head off. She's showing her blood. She's showing her blood. She represents the spiritually awakened, the power, the energy, the force of Shakti. Now there's a story about her. One day Parvati, sometimes they say Sati, but it's Parvati, was with her attendants, with Varini and Dakini, sometimes Jaya or Vijaya. And she's doing things, and they say, "Mother, we're hungry." She said, "Okay, I'll feed you." Time goes on. They said, "Mother, we are hungry." "Okay, we'll get some food, but just please let me just do these things that I need to do and think these things. I need to think of things and I need to do things." So a little time later, "Mother, we are hungry. We are so hungry." When a child asks the mother for something, the mother will give them anything. And we are asking you for food. We are hungry. So she says, okay. So she takes her own fingernails off, right? Chops her head off. But some images show her with the head chopper. She chops her own head off. Either way, she holds her head. And blood, one stream flows into Varini and one stream flows into Dakini. And one stream flows into herself. And when they have their fill, she puts her head back on. But she goes to Shiva, and Shiva is concerned because she's all pallor and white. And he was actually confused because he thought someone had abused her, and he got very angry. And that leads to a different story. Now, another story is how Chinnamasta came about is after the Devi had won the war against the Asura. She becomes so ferocious. It's as Kali has become so ferocious that she has chopped her own head off with swinging her weapon. And the blood fills the three worlds. Another story of it is when the Mahavijas came about, when Sati wanted to go to her father's sacrifice, fire sacrifice, yeah, his yagna. But since they were invited, Shiva, did not, when she asked for permission, he did not give it to her, and she got angry because she wants to go, and she said she's going to go anyway. She just thought it would be nice to ask her permission because she wants to disrupt shit because, her father has, has gone against her wishes because it was her father and, wanted a mother who wanted the goddess to be her child, and this is what they do. So she wants to disrupt it, and she got angry, and she changed, and all around Shiva was 10 forms, the 10 Mahavijas, in which he tried to run away from her because she turned also ferocious too. She turned hideously ferocious, and he tried to run away from her. And those 10 forms showed, and everywhere he tried to go to, every direction he was blocked by the goddess, and that showed the goddess is everywhere. And he was so scared of her that when he closed her eyes, he says, "Where did you go? Where did you go?" And she's opened his eyes and then saw his beautiful wife. "I've been here. That is me. That is all my forms." And she introduced to them. This is Kali, that's Tara, this is Tripura Sundari, and so on and so forth. The 10 Mahavijas. But we see that the goddess is not only violent, but she also does an act of mercy where she feeds the three worlds. But she also, in that story, she feeds her attendants, her handmaidens. Now another thing is, so Chinnamasta's spouse is Shiva, but also Chinnamasta is also referred to as Indrani. As Indrani, who chops her head off. So then her husband could be seen as Indra. And Indrani is one day maybe I'll do a presentation on her, and she's But she is very important since she's also, you know, the queen of the gods. So public and private worship of Chinnamasta is not the most popular due to her nature, due to her visualization, and also sometimes her aggressive nature. And sometimes she's viewed as dangerous. But she is the ultimate goal of liberation. Really? Here, go play fetch. You want to play fetch, don't you? There they go. Knock over the camera. Why not? They almost did. So we see that about the goddess. I'm sorry for all these disruptions. I really am. Here's another goddess showing her where she's sitting. So that's another picture of her sitting. Let's go look at some pictures of her so that you can see. And you can imagine what the Christians thought about her when they saw this. That's actually cremation ground. So that's one of her haunts, is the cremation ground. And this is actually from a temple. This is from the Tantric Visions of the Divine Feminine, the 10 Mahavijas, David Kinsley, which is a must read if you want to learn about anything about the Mahavijas. This is one of the best books out there. But this is more of a scholarly thing. This is not like her mantras. This is a scholarly view of it. But that's also very important, the historical view, the scholarly view, and, you know, some of the religious views, but so we have, she's the awakened energy. She is the awakened goddess. She is the she's a great battery of power. So Chinnamasta is those who have a heroic nature, like those who are in the even those in the military will find Chinnamasta to be a very good goddess. Now another thing is this, she's a goddess for physicians. That if you're a physician and you're a doctor, you can worship Chinnamasta to have more patients for you to heal, but also, hey, it brings money, right? But she also is about chopping off the disease. So she is a good one for surgeons to cut off the things that no longer serve the person, whether it be a tumor. Come on, guys. A limb that's so infected that it needs to be amputated. So she could be the removal of an organ that is no longer serving the person. So again, like an appendectomy, removing the appendix. Hysterectomy as removing the uterus. So it could be actually removing of cataracts. Removing the things that no longer serve us. So the worshipper of Chinnamasta perfects self-control. And self-annihilation in quotations doesn't mean doesn't mean suicide. It means killing the old self to bring in the new. They are really being annoying. So and she has names. Like she has the name of Battle Cry. One of her other names is Battlefield. So we're seeing warrior goddess here and dealing with war. And another name is victorious in warfare. Slayer of different demons. So it will go into different names of slayer of this demon, slayer of that demon. So we see her dealing with the military. We see her dealing with warfare. Right there. The names depict her as a warrior goddess. Guys, stop! No war here. Right when I said warrior and warfare, we're gonna have a fight between Loki and Lady Boss. Loki and Boss will not fight. She represents self-surrender. She brings on fearlessness of death. One of the malas I do recommend for her is skull head malas. So you can get that as an ox bone, and they're carved into skulls because it represents the transcending of death. To not fear it, we know it's all going to come to us because that's the price of life, is death. But also death meaning death of the physical body, but not death of the spirit. So I would recommend using for her the skull malas, because it's also another thing that you see in is you see how the headlessness. Okay, so the skull has a hole here and a hole here, and the thread goes through it. So that's almost reminds me of the blood going through the skull. So we got the skull mala where she's the blasted off head. There's also a thing of saying like to crack the skull open. Spiritually, not physically. Don't take a hammer to yourself. Don't take a hammer to anyone else. Okay? I'm not advocating for that. But it's a spiritual blasting off of the skull. Spiritually. And where the energy can flow. She is a Chinnamasta is a goddess to help you get through spiritual obstacles, especially the we have those knots in our spiritual channel where the Kundalini goes through, where she can untie those knots or blast right through it. She gets rid of our inner and outer obstacles. Guys, come on, you're being extremely annoying. And I know what you're trying to do, Loki. Every time he spills my tea on himself and it's cold, I have to give him a bath to get the tea off. And he loves water. He loves baths. Every time I take a shower, I can open the shower door. Here comes Loki, going into the water, purring as always, like a madman. But anyways, she is a startling realization, because they say, you know, what's scarier than a walking headless corpse? But she is she decapitates herself for the benefit of she benefits herself but benefits the whole world. And that's what it says. The more spiritual people we have, the better the world would be, right? Or the more good people we have in the world, the better the world would be. The more bad people we have, the worse the world would be. And I'm not saying that people who aren't spiritual are bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. what I would say is the world would be better if we had less douchebags running around. So, she is, when we talk about Goddess Gone Nuclear, she's like the ultimate nuclear. She is extremely wrathful, but yet she's also beneficial, but she's also terrible. She's also considered a terrible and awful and ferocious, as we've seen by her names. So I know a lot of people are in love with her. I love her, but I know she's one hot tamale. Very, very spicy. She's like eating like a Carolina Reaper pepper or ghost pepper, chili pepper. You know. But what I'm saying is that she is, out of all the Mahavijas, she's pretty up there of being scary. I love her. I worship her, and I keep her on my altar. I would have showed you my other beautiful plaque that I made, but my kittens decide to destroy her. So it's beyond fixing now. Here's another picture I wanted to show you guys. Did I show you this one? I'm not sure. I might have. I love that picture. But you can literally look up her pictures. And I do want to read this to you, so I'm going to read. I'm going to read this. I would ask David Kinsley for permission, but he's passed away. So victory to the light of the world, giver of a good ending to the universe, to her whose forehead is lovely with charming locks. Then there's another prayer to her. I meditate upon the goddess Chinnamasta, who is seated in the center of the sun's disk and holds in her left hand her own severed head with gaping mouth. Her hair is disheveled, and she is drinking the stream of blood gushing out from her own neck. She is seated on Rati and Kamadeva, who are engaged in sexual dalliance, and she is rejoicing with her friends Dakini and Varini. Now the other one, she stands in an aggressive manner, with her leg put forward. She is holding her own severed head in one hand and a sword in the other. She is naked and happily drinks the blood that gushes from her headless body. She has 3 eyes, and she is adorned with a blue lotus at her heart. One should meditate on Chinnamasta, who has the complexion of a red hibiscus flower. She stands on Kama and Rati, who are joined in sexual intercourse. To her right is Varini, who is possessed by Rajasguna, who is white in color, with loose hair, and who holds a sword and a skull cup. She happily drinks the blood gushing from the Devi's severed neck. On her left is Dakini, who also drinks blood flowing from Chinnamasta's headless body. She is possessed by Tamasguna and enjoys the world in a state of dissolution. One should meditate on this goddess who bestows blessings on her devotee. These are actual translations of mantras and prayers to the goddess Chinnamasta. So she is the symbol of living creation. She is the goddess who overcomes desires. She is the flow of Kundalini. She can get rid of false egos, false consciousness. She is very strong. She is very powerful. She's very bold, very fearsome. She can help you with courage too. to face the things you need to do. So I do hope you enjoyed this presentation. There is so much to learn about Chinnamasta, but I'm already 1 hour and 5 minutes. I do want to thank you if you dealt with the hectic bullcrap that my cat split up with. But I do not have a Patreon account. But if you like this video, check out Bloodywood on YouTube. And the money that you'd give to me, give to Bloodywood if you like metal music. If not, you don't like metal music, fine. I mean, I'm a metalhead. I'm a metalhead till I'm dead. But if you check out Chant, CHANT, Central, and give them the money you would have given me. They do awesome music and artistic designs and animation and meditate. They do like the mantras that you could sing along to them, and they have actually two, I believe, on Chinnamasta now, and they do to all the Mahavijas, and they also do the other different deities, and it's really great work. So thanks again for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like, give me a thumbs down. If you really like me, please subscribe so you never miss a video. Share this video with your friends and family. Thank you so much, and I appreciate all the comments. So, hey, tell me what's your thoughts and what's your experiences with Chinnamasta. So I'd like to hear your thoughts and your experiences about her. And as always, blessed be and stay safe, folks. Okay? Thank you for watching.